we'll see who rules the skies in today's battle. It's the Atlanta Falcons and the Baltimore Ravens, and it kicks off next on Madden NFL 25.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis, thrilled to be with you from the broadcast booth. And partner, before we get this thing started, what are you going to be watching?
Who gets off to a fast start? In horse racing terms, they talk about catching a flyer out of the gate. Who sets the pace and makes the other team chase?
Here's the punter, Bradley Pinion, on to get us started. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Here comes the Ravens on offense, and the man in charge from Louisville, the former MVP, Lamar Jackson.
Early part of his career, defenses really had to focus on his running ability, and they still do. But now, he's turned himself into a true dual-threat quarterback. When he plants his cleats in the ground and turns it loose, good things happen downfield.
First carry now for Justice Hill. And he'll hope that this is not a sign of what's in store as he has to fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Jackson now. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Falcons grab it. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. Well, that's unfortunate because he had a nice run going, but give credit to the defense. They got a hand in the cookie jar there, CD.
You have to think about vision, finding a place to get down after you know you've gotten all you can out of a run, and obviously ball security is paramount. In today's football, everyone's coming after the rock. You've got to make sure you protect it and protect the yardage you just gained.
So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. Leading them out is their 6'2 quarterback who was a fourth-round pick back in 2012, Kirk Cousins.
Not bad for a fourth-round draft pick. Well over 100 career starts now. And the chemistry with his top targets, really on point. They spend a lot of time in practice and after practice making sure the routes are run well, and he knows exactly where they're going to be on the field. And when they get open, he delivers.
And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Cousins now from the 50. And this is taken in by Darnell Mooney. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They go play action. Cousins. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
It's pretty early in the game, but they've already tried to establish him not just as a runner, but as a receiver as well. Didn't happen there, but I wouldn't be surprised at all to see them try again shortly.
2nd and 10. Cousins. sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Odafe Owe showing off the pass rush skills.
In every game we talk about what are going to be the keys as we go into it. Maybe that's a key for their defense today. Pressure the quarterback and make sure you play a good zone defense behind them, and they get their first sack of the contest.
Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. That is caught. It gets by him, and now a little daylight. Touchdown, Falcons. Drake London, 50 yards. And the Falcons are on the board first on the road here in Baltimore. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. And the kick makes it through, but flags come flying in as well. It appears we're going to get a roughing call tacked on. Uh-oh, flag comes out here. This is going to be roughing the kicker.
When you're going back there on the kick block, you've got to go to the right point. That didn't happen, ran into the kicker. The penalty flag had to come out.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game. They had the fumble on the last drive, wound up leading to the opening touchdown. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10. In motion, Aguilar. And he'll get an opportunity with it on the touch pass. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down. Boy, an effective play there, getting their wideouts involved in the run game.
And what they're always hoping on that type of a play, that they can get to the end of the line and have a chance to turn it upfield as he did there. That means they controlled the blocking and took care of the defensive end or the outside linebacker to give him that lane.
And I guess I need to clarify, I said getting their wideouts involved in the run game, but of course that was actually a pass as he popped it forward. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
To throw is Jackson. That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Andrews' first catch, good for a first down.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Now it's Jackson. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here. And now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll try to pound it in with Hill. And he stopped immediately there. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play. Don't hold them to no gain.
And he's going to battle his way down right around the 2-yard line. The keeper gets him 7 that time, but it'll lead to a 3rd down. Now, that's what he can do, when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
They'll try to run this one in, and he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Ravens are an extra point away from evening this one up.
And you can forgive this defense just a bit here. They know how dangerous Lamar Jackson is running the football. Stopping him is in many ways a prime concern. So here, they're late to react to the handoff on the option, and it costs them as this winds up a touchdown.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. So for the 2nd time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Now a 2nd and 10. Cousins to throw it. That's complete to the tight end, Werner. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Now Cousins. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
They brought in the heavy set on 3rd down, and that usually means running play. But we have seen them throw out of that formation. And sure enough, they snuck the tight end out on that one. Wound up hitting him for a first down.
Here's Cousins. Man open, that's Ray McCloud. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And a nice gain of 21 yards. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 down at the 33. To throw, Cousins. And his pass incomplete.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, that position could get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his 2nd drop of the game. Cousins. That's caught by Werner, the tight end. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
They'll throw again. Cousins. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Odafe Owe. Now 2 sacks for him already here in this first quarter of play.
Well, you could almost see his eyes light up defensively. I mean, as a linebacker, that's about as quick as you can get to a quarterback.
So what did your 3rd grade teacher teach you about straight lines, right? As soon as you have those, you take full advantage of them. He found a gap in the offensive line, got to the quarterback, and put him on the deck.
Koo knocks this one through the post. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
Now they can't bring him down. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field.
A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now, but let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. Here's a 2nd and 8. In motion, Aguilar. Hands it off out of the gun.
And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. He went backwards there 8 yards, and it brings up 3rd down.
The safety position continues to evolve into a bigger role in run defense than in the past. They certainly love to have him drop down and get aggressive in bringing ball carriers down behind the line of scrimmage. Not many bigger stops than that one right there.
That's going deep for Bateman.
And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 26. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 47 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. Jackson.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Play action. It's Jackson. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down. They go play action now. Jackson looking for Aguilar, and it's intercepted. And the Falcons are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line.
Well, this had trouble written all over from the start. He's got 2 extra defensive backs in the game he's got to deal with. They're in a dime set. So everywhere he's looking, he's seeing a different color jersey. And sure enough, this one winds up being intercepted.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns. And, partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
In motion goes McLeod. Now here's a fake on the jet sweep, and a give to Robinson.
And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play.
To throw is Cousins.
And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Well, they came up with points in their first 2 possessions, but it looks like they'll come up empty here on their 3rd drive. The defense finally starting to get locked into them a little bit. Might have to go a little bit deeper into their playbook on their next possession.
So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away.
Deontay Hardy back deep. (10-7) our score after 1 right here on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting first downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
This defense, tough to run against. And those linebackers, they'll go side to side up the field, and there they get them for no gain.
If you can't get linemen upfield to the 2nd level to occupy them, they have a field day just running to the football and putting ball carriers on the ground. Not many yards after contact when they wrap up like that.
Throwing is Jackson.
A short one there, caught by Likely.
And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a 1st down.
Atlanta regains possession of the football. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
From the 28, it's 2nd and 5. Out of the gun, they give to Robinson.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
7 yards there and a 1st down.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a 1st down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Cousins now. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Adafe Owe able to get in there yet again. That's already 3 sacks for him here in this first half of football.
So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Throwing, Cousins. Under pressure, and they got to him again.
That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. They'll set up a throw. He's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field.
While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment.
So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10. On play action, Cousins. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Last play went for over 30 yards. This one not quite as big, but still over 20.
Well, every now and then I can speak from experience because I do know as a defender, it is awfully hard to stay with your man on these crossing routes because even if you don't get picked, there's a danger of being picked either by one of their receivers or maybe by your own defender. And on that play, that worked quite well.
And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. It's another first down as they look his way again, this time 19 yards.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Again, it's Cousins. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. Throwing is Cousins. And he's got the hook up to McLeod. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. Kind of surprised they accept the penalty.
The only thing that comes to mind for me is they want to move them back 5 yards because they feel good about their defense. But in most situations, you take the down. That's what counts more.
3rd and goal for Cousins. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Charlie Werner from 4 yards out as his guys are able to extend their lead.
No surprise there, 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
coup for the extra point. It's good to make it 17-7. That time, a 9-play drive. And the end result, an Atlanta touchdown. Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. They find themselves down 17-7 as they start this drive, 1st and 10. Here's Jackson. That's complete. It's Zay Flowers with it. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
I tell you what, when you're down on the scoreboard, you've got to look to your stars, and that's what they do here to start the drive. I wouldn't be surprised if they looked his way a few more times in short order. That one, well designed, and it's a quick 1st down.
Here's a handoff out of the gun. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. It's rare that a man his size can at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about Tiny? You talking about the little guy back there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to take one for the team, right? Because he's just waiting there and holding on for everyone else to help him out.
And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. In motion left here, one of their tight ends. From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 44-yard line.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a 1st down again.
We really didn't have any doubt that he was going to be one of the top-rated rookies coming into the league, especially as a runner. And he's given us no reason to change our minds. That's a big-time run, and the production that he showed us in college is translating very well into the National Football League.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
I do think it's fair to say that they were caught off guard a little bit when he decided not to throw it on 1st down. But give them credit, they recovered in time to deny him the 1st down yardage. But it's only 2nd and short, so that run is still likely to lead to a new set of downs.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. They go play action with Jackson. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the 1st. Well, we've seen Jackson already have success in the 1st half running the football, and he gets good yardage on the ground again there. I mean, I know it's a $64,000 question, CD, but how do they contain him better?
You have to win against the blockers ahead of you. If those guys even occupy a defender for even a half a second, then Lamar Jackson is gone. You've got to take those blockers and move them so that you have clear vision of Lamar Jackson, and hopefully you can hem him in.
Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown.
Lamar Jackson, a 6-yard touchdown run.
And the Ravens are back within a score. Now, this defense, so many things to worry about in the red zone area, but you'd have to almost think that Lamar Jackson running the football, that might be number one.
It should be number one, and in this portion of the field where things shrink a little bit because the receivers can't run past anyone because they'll run out of real estate, you should have all eyes on Lamar Jackson when the ball is snapped and try and keep him back in the pocket.
Yeah, I don't think that they were surprised he was running it there. They just couldn't stop him, and he ends up in the end zone.
Tucker with the extra point, and the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
Here comes Kirk Cousins now to lead his offense back out there. Last series, the ball never hit the ground. 6 of 6, touchdown pass, so whatever he did then, do it again, right?
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of when I watched the best quarterbacks throw 7-on-7 or even routes versus air. They're accurate. The receivers catch it. The ball never touches the ground. Or if you want to take it to basketball, a well-executed fast break, right? Pass, 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 finish at the rim, basket. Yeah, ball never hits the ground there either.
2nd down and 4.
Cousins.
That's out wide here for Robinson.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Second down and a yard.
Now Cousins. Sets up the screen to Robinson.
Room to maneuver at the 35.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
The Falcon passing game looking good on this drive as they get the first down.
And this pass rush has really been bringing the heat and has already gotten home a few times here in the first half. So how about the play call there? Sometimes if you can't protect, you've got to fool them. Screen passes like that can take a little steam out of what's been a relentless rush so far.
Cousins again.
To the right side and intercepted. Picked up by Brandon Stevens.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will bring this back. It's a pick six and a Raven touchdown. Charles, I'm looking at you, and understandably, your mouth is wide open in disbelief. What were they thinking?
That's going to be one of the great mysteries, but I do know this. When they went out on offense, I will guarantee they told them, don't just make anticipatory throws. Make sure you see it before you throw it. Didn't happen here.
Trying to protect that lead, and now they gave it up. Now Tucker to add the PAT. It's up and good to make it 21-17. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Falcons offense and Kirk Cousins getting ready for this next possession. And he's done everything you could have asked for coming in. He's spread it around. He hasn't taken many chances. And he's potentially on his way to a big game throwing the football.
Back to it after the pick six. Cousin. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A completion, yes, but certainly not what they wanted. A loss of a full 6 yards.
Well, that wasn't exactly a thing of beauty. I know they completed the pass, but look at the yardage lost. I mean, who does that make happy?
That's why I don't play in PPR points per reception fantasy leagues right there.
You'd be really
You don't deserve
upset,
anything
right?
for that.
But you get credit for it? Is that how that works?
Yeah.
Well, I know whoever has this team's defense, they were happy about that play.
So we're at halftime here in the Inner Harbor with the hometown Ravens on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Both of these offenses had their share of high points in that first half. Each team had some big moments, and it would seem this could turn out to be a game where the last score wins.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far.
Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter three?
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Falcons offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Now Cousins. That's complete to Mooney. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first.
Hand off to Robinson out of the shotgun.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Here's Cousins.
That's caught. It's the tight end Ryman.
And he is going to lose yardage here. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14.
Well, plays like that, Charles, no doubt, they're just going to continue to fuel this crowd.
And this defense is already playing well, but it also feeds on the energy of that crowd that you're talking about, and that takes them up to another level. Right now, they're...
And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down.
Adafe Owe. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. Well, it has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. See, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush? What blocking assignments do you change? Can guys play a little bit better? And we're seeing the end result on the scoreboard. Long day in the pocket for their quarterback.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Seven yards on the return after a punt of 39. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half.
They have played so strongly. You look at the scoreboard, you probably, with the way they played, you would think the margin would be a lot bigger, right?
You would. And in your experience, how many times have we run into coaches where they've talked about, hey, we just want to put it in the hands of our defense and have them win the game? In this case,
yeah, not the case.
Not at all. You want to put it in the hands of your offense, but you always feel better about seeing defense because you think defense is a constant and offense kind of comes and goes. Today, this game, no, they need their offense to stay on a really hot level.
They've been hot so far. They stay on the ground. This time it's Hill. Fights through him. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
They'll come up facing 3rd and 5. Jackson from the shotgun. That is caught. Then he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. From the 35, here's 2nd and 2. Jackson now off the bootleg. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. When in doubt, do it yourself as he keeps it for 3 and a first down.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Jackson. A slant route caught by Bateman. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And Bateman, he'll go in motion right here. Play action. It's Jackson. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. Throwing is Jackson. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Matt Judon in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down. We've seen him escape similar situations earlier in the game and get away for pretty good yardage. At that time, they get him down.
Yeah, they've had enough evidence that he can get away and run for good yardage, haven't they? That time it felt like, okay, enough of this. Let's play it the right way and get him on the ground before he does any damage.
And this is going to be roughing the kicker, an inexcusable penalty, Charles.
You've worked so hard to hold him to a 3-point kick. Now you give him the ball again with a chance for a touchdown.
So a special teams mistake on the field goal try leads to a new set of downs inside the red zone. Now Jackson. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Call it a gain of 3 on the play.
And it's second down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
In motion, Aguilar. Now Jackson taps this forward jet sweep. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Nelson Aguilar. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Ravens add 6 to their lead. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
Tucker now to add the point after. And that one pushes the lead up to 11. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Atlanta prepped and readied for its next possession. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. Well, that'll help the old passing stats. Remember, it was a pop pass, so it's not a wide receiver run there, Charles.
Well, I like the way that you scored it, and that's exactly how it goes into the books. But remember, he's had success throwing the ball the standard way in this game. And here, this little tap pass, it goes for good yardage, a little something extra in his repertoire.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
To throw, Cousins. Over the middle, that's caught by McLeod.
Now a pause, and there's an injured Raven in need of some assistance. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll run this one right with Robinson. Oh, there's a nice move by Robinson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A nice pickup there, 18 yards, 1st down Falcons.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
Cousins. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Throwing is Cousins.
And this will be caught by Mooney.
So the completion gets him just a yard, and it'll be second down.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
Cousins to throw it.
There's a short one caught by Ryman.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Backed up here. Tough spot. Needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
As a coaching staff, you can call just about whatever you want because you understand you have guys who reliably take away those massive shots downfield. You're not as worried about giving up the big one.
4th down, and the attention turns to Falcon kicker Younghoe Koo.
From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt.
Koo knocks this one through the posts.
And that'll make this an 8-point game.
So the response to that touchdown on the other side to begin the 3rd quarter. Look, just 3 points, but still a response nonetheless.
You're exactly right about that because I think you needed to answer back with something, even though it's not 6. Just enough to send the message that says, hey, we're not going away.
The punter Pinion now to kick this one away.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. And if they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss.
And Bateman, he'll go in motion right here.
They go play action now. Jackson. It's caught by Aguilar. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
22 yards there, a 1st down.
And, partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. And he's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 38. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. Down for a Ravens touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Ravens are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter. Well, big plays have been the story so far into this 3rd quarter, and they have really been running wild this whole ball game, and there's another example right there on the touchdown run.
And their execution has been exceptional, especially for a team that's played with great pace. They've controlled the tempo, played how they've wanted to, and they're having their way right now.
3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore, where the 4th quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the 3rd quarter. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score.
Here's 2nd and 3. Throwing, Cousins. And he'll find McLeod on the right side complete. And he makes it all the way down to the 19. It's a big play there for Atlanta. 41 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, if only they were all this easy, because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Straight ahead, it's Robinson.
And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
That was a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain.
On 2nd down, another shot for Robinson. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 15 yards there on the play as they try to chip away at this 15-point deficit.
Well, think of it like you would a typical boxing match. The person is on his heels and absorbing blows is having a tough time. And that's what's happening to the defense right now, because the offense is on his toes and punching. And there was another 1st down run right there.
Now Cousins here on the bootleg. His pass caught at the 4. So no gain on the play, and it's 2nd and goal.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. In motion, the tight end. Cousins. Now he's got it. Touchdown. Charlie Werner, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game.
And the Falcons are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. So this now a 9-point difference. You figure the book here says kick the extra point, make it a 1-score game.
Now, you and I have seen coaches get overly aggressive in this spot, but I agree with you. Kick it here and get back within a score.
And now in a 9-point game, they'll still just need to go for 1 here. As this gets them back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. So the drive there took 6 plays. And the Falcons score to cap it off. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away.
Well, now how about this return? And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. 1st downs a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this 4th quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the 4th quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
Now it's Jackson. Completes it to Aguilar. So the pitch and catch good for 11, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
Partney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
In motion, Aguilar.
That ball's caught. Aguilar, right side.
And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to move the sticks with a gain of 4 on 3rd and inches.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here. Down late, tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. 67 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Beating him there with his legs, 21 yards, first down.
Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there. Worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. And let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
Play action. Now Jackson. Over the middle, complete. It's Flowers.
And the Ravens are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
Well, a clear running situation. Try to take time off the clock. You ran the previous play, set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they had shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit them over the top.
Now a first down carry. It's Hill. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. Now they'll bring one of their tight ends in motion right. They go play action with Jackson. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10.
That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack, but he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football, had to eat it, and ended up on the ground.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Here's Jackson to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That's a pretty play there. Got in at the last second, helped force the ball free, and kept them out of the end zone.
So here comes Justin Tucker in a big spot. This to make it a 2-score game.
Tucker's kick is good,
and that will extend their lead even further.
So that's, CD, an important one here in the 4th quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a 2-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely that was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a 2-score game, and they were able to get it done.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here.
And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
19 yards there on the catch and run.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a one-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
To throw is Cousins.
That's caught by Werner, the tight end.
And he'll take this from 147-yard line to the other. A gain of 6.
In this situation, the dictation is coming from the defense, right? They're going to tell you, you can have 6, 7 yards, do that all the way downfield. Let's just go ahead and take the time off the clock. I think they've got to start attacking vertically a lot more.
Again, it's Cousins.
And that one too wide and incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Falcons go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Ravens are going to get the football back. So now with a 2-minute warning coming up fast, that puts a mammoth dent in their comeback hopes.
I like how you phrased it. It's a dent because there's still opportunity. They've got to get the ball back on defense, obviously twice. But guess what? This thing is not close to being over. They need to go ahead and play it out.
Not over. As you said, 2-score game still.
A.J. Terrell coming up to make the play.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that 1st down carry.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here.
Jackson, options out left. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40.
And quickly, we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Third and 2.
Jackson now.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he has the Ravens 1st down, and it would appear that that's going to be the one to do it.
At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
The Ravens taking a knee with victory seemingly in hand here. Down to a knee goes Jackson, and that should seal it.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
Another one in the books for his partner. Always great to be by your side. And look, both offenses, both defenses had some moments in this one, but I think you would agree these coaching staffs are also going to have some stuff to clean up on film.
Absolutely, partner. And let's face it, any game we get to watch from up here, it's going to be a blast. Do we want to get a real job? Absolutely not. Let's keep watching the NFL all season long.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Ravens are victorious here as we say so long from Baltimore.